Welcome to the Ratty the Raccoon show. Today I want to talk to you about memes. Now you're probably saying to yourself, what is a meme?
So what is it?
Perhaps this award-winning animation from the Indie Fan Film Festival will help you understand. Let's take a look. This is a story of a little snail. He was a happy little snail that liked to pass his time in the shade, nibbling on grass. Now the little snail would have been content to spend the rest of his life in the shade nibbling on grass. Till one day along came another snail. So the little snail says to the traveler,
Hello. Hello. This is such a lovely day. Would you like to come nibble on some grass with me?
but the other snail had ideas of his own.
No way, I do not have time to nibble on grass. I'm headed to the top of the grass stem to look at the sun. Why would you want to do that? Because from the top of the stem you can see the glorious sun in all its brilliance, and you can see the whole world from there. It's the most wonderful thing you'll ever see in your entire life.
Now this idea was new to the little snail. He had always been taught that the sun was bad, but the traveler had seemed so convincing. His story must be true. The little snail could not get this idea out of his head. He thought of all the wonders he must be missing out on. So when he could not stand it any more, he decided to take a look for himself. So the little snail climbed his way to the top of a stem of grass. When he reached the top, there was the sun, just as the traveler had said, in all its glory and brilliance. It shone down on him.
Wow.
Then suddenly, while the snail was admiring the glorious beauty of the sun, a large bird swooped down and snatched up the snail and had him for his dinner. If the little snail would not have listened to the traveler and remained in the shade eating grass, he would not have met an untimely death. If it were not for the traveler's ideas infecting the brain of the little snail, he would have survived this ordeal because he would have stayed in the shade. But that's obvious. Do you want to know what the point of this story is?
So what is it?
Well, the point is, what if I told you this was a true story? Would you believe me? There is a parasite called Leucoridium paradoxum. It controls the mind of its victims and causes them to behave in ways they would not normally behave. Take a look at this.
Under this layer of vegetation, a shade-loving snail has been invaded by worms. These parasites take over the snail's brain and push into his tentacles, transforming them into swollen, colorful, pulsating targets. At dawn, the snail leaves the protection of the vegetation, climbing toward danger. Out in the open, in the hot and dry sun, the snail is exposed and vulnerable. The pulsating tentacles mimic a maggot, the perfect meal for the parasite's next host. A bird. The snail will likely survive this attack, but more parasites are growing inside its body and will move into its regenerated tentacles. The worms are ingested by the bird and begin to reproduce. The bird spreads thousands of parasite eggs throughout the forest to infect more snails.
So why did the parasite command the snail to climb the stalk of the grass and get eaten by the bird? Because the parasite needed to do what it needed to do to survive. It did not care if the snail died or if the snail sacrificed its life. What was important to the parasite is that the parasite survives. In both of these stories, the idea and the parasite are the same thing. Although they may be two different entities, They both have the same effect as in causing behavior that one would not normally do. It is also known as a meme.
So what is it?
A meme is an idea, behavior, or style that spreads from person to person within a culture. While genes transmit biological information, memes are said to transmit ideas and belief information. A meme acts as a unit for carrying cultural ideas, symbols, or practices, which can be transmitted from one mind to another through writing, speech, gestures, or rituals, or other phenomena. Supporters of the concept regard memes as cultural analogs to genes in that they self-replicate, mutate, and respond to selective pressures. In other words, memes behave as if they have a mind of their own outside of the people who they infect, which is all of us. Once the life of a meme gets started, it is extremely difficult to get rid of. Just like in the snail population, if the snails wanted to get rid of the other snails who were infected by the parasite, they would have to kill off a large amount of the population. Well, the same thing happens to humans. When one meme wants to destroy or attack another meme, what happens? A war, and large numbers of the population get killed off. And just like it takes one snail to survive the massacre and spread the parasite on, the same thing for humans. It only takes one mind to survive the massacre and spread the diseased mime on. And memes in the human culture are extremely difficult to exterminate because they can be passed on from human to human, or from human through book, or human through TV, or now even human through the internet. So a meme is basically an idea that comes to life, that has a life of its own. Its consciousness is real, and it's out there, and it's floating around. It doesn't have a body, so it infects the minds of people and exists through our consciousness and uses their bodies to act out its intentions. As humans, when we pass on our traits to the next generation, that is done through genes. Okay, now ideas and beliefs are passed on through memes, which is an acronym for modeled on gene. And it has branched off into a field of study of its own called memetics. One can control whole populations of humans just by manipulating their memes. Memes evolved right alongside human as culture developed. Not all memes are bad. Memes were very beneficial at their start. I mean, it was important for you to know which foods were poisonous and which animals were out there that could possibly kill you. This saves time because you do not have to relearn what somebody else has already learned. It wasn't until people discovered that they can use memes to control other people that negative memes began to manifest themselves in the human society. So what you have is one people carrying this meme in their head don't like this people that carry this other meme in the head. So these two groups of people fight each other. Now the memes, they don't fight. They use the people to fight. The people fight it out. Meanwhile, the memes, they still exist, unharmed, no consequence. But what of the humans? You got dead humans on both sides. It's no different from letting a parasite tell you to climb to the top of a green leaf. How could one human being let another human being tell him that he should hate this other human being and grab this gun, fly halfway around the world, and kill these people because they come from a different meme? But it's much more complicated than that. Because a person can belong to more than one meme at the same time, as long as those two memes do not conflict with each other. For example, you can be the member of a KKK, which is a white supremacist group. That's a meme. And at the same time, you can be a part of America. You can be an American. That's another meme. Or you can be a member of the NAACP, which is another meme. And that meme can also be a part of America, which is another meme. Now these two smaller memes exist together inside this larger meme, but they do not get along with each other. They fight with each other and would like to kill each other if they could. But if something happens that another meme attacks the larger meme, suddenly, although only temporarily, these smaller memes dissolve and everyone fights for the larger meme. And once that conflict is resolved, the smaller memes reform their shells and start fighting again. That's the nature of humans. Can you see it in yourself? You're being controlled by an entity larger than yourself, a force outside your own mind that has control over your actions, and you don't even know it. Just like that snail was being controlled and didn't know it. Another example of a meme is a corporation. Now, corporate memes are motivated by only one thing: profits. They do not care if the human is starving. They do not care if the human is homeless. It does not care because it has no feelings. It's not human. It's the meme. It's the meme that controls the people who foreclose on your house. They do it because that's what the meme wants: profits. It has no heart, no feelings towards you. It doesn't care if you climb to the top of the grass stalk and get eaten by a bird. It just wants you to do what it wants you to do. And all memes are the same way. Remember, a meme is like a living entity. All it wants to do is survive, and it will do it by any means necessary, whether the constituents of its body have to kill or sacrifice their lives. The meme must survive. It is selfish, it has no feelings, and simply does not care what happens to you. The meme might be what gives people the impression that there is a new world order. It is just one meme manifesting itself as superior to all others. Memes are parasitic because they could not exist without humans. Well, I'm running out of time, so if you would like to know more about memes, Google it. It's only a click away. Understanding this will help free you from the parasitic thoughts of others. Till next time. So what's my name, bitch?
This is how you thank me, trying to flank me, trying to punch me, shovel me and shank me. The camping goose, some famous dude. And I don't give a fuck what your name is, noob, what your rank is, or what clan you from. Right click so much, you gotta